Hello everyone. Today we are going to see one of the common Java concurrency interview question to design and implement producer and consumer pattern using wait and notify. First, let's have a clear understanding of the pattern. There are three important components. One, the message store, and we have a producer and consumer. Message store is a simple data type which supports first in first out. With the message that comes in first should be the first one to go out. In this producer consumer pattern, we have n producers which randomly inserts the message into the queue, or in other words pushes the message into the queue. Similarly, we have n consumer threads who are randomly trying to remove the messages from the front. One more constraint that we have is the queues should be of constant size or fixed capacity. The queue cannot grow in size as in when the producers inserts messages continuously. So now we need to implement this in Java. The message store should be a first in first out and must should be a fixed size. There should be multiple threads of producers, multiple threads of consumers. Let's go ahead and do a simple class design for the same. Now we have a simple message store which for which we are able to insert and push as well as remove the messages from it. Let's go ahead and implement the producer and consumer. Producer and consumer should be of user defined daemon threads who should be able to produce messages or consume messages from the queue at continuously. Now we have implemented both producer and consumer class. Let's discuss the multiple scenarios in the producer consumer pattern. The first scenario will be when multiple producers trying to access the message store to insert the message at the same time to the queue. Let's call each thread as producer thread 1, producer thread 2, producer thread 3. So we have a shared resource where all three threads would try to push the message into the queue at the same point in time. So we need to protect the shared resource from being accessed by multiple threads. The linked list, which were used to store the messages or used to implement the queue, is not thread safe. So we need to use the keyword synchronized to protect the access to the shared resource. Now let's add a synchronized keyword to the push message method to the event store. Now we have the only one producer thread can be able to access the event store to push the messages into the queue. So the scenario 1 where multiple producers trying to push message to the queue has been protected. The event store, even though it has been accessed by multiple threads, only one thread will be allowed to write the message or push the messages into the queue. Let's move on to the next scenario, which is similar but multiple consumers threads trying to access or read or remove the messages from the queue. Here we have multiple messages into the queue and we have n or multiple consumers trying to remove the messages from the queue. Let's call each consumer threads as CT1, CT2 and CT3. Multiple consumer threads trying to access the shared resource. Here our shared resource is the event storage. So we have a critical section which needs to be protected or which is accessed by multiple threads at the same time. The critical section needs to be protected by a synchronized keyword which makes sure only one thread is able to access it. Let's do to the event storage. Now we have handled the scenario 2. Let's move on to the next scenario. The scenario 3, where the queue is full or the queue is empty. This is a very important case. Let's consider the queue is empty and we have multiple consumer threads trying to remove the message from the queue. In a similar manner, we might have multiple producer threads trying to push the messages into the queue where it is already full. So when the queue is full, the producer threads have to wait for the message queue to have some space or capacity. Then
so that the queue can accept the messages. In a similar manner, consumer threads have to wait for the queue to become non-empty so that they can remove the messages from it. So to handle this scenario, we need to have communication between consumer threads to the producer threads. So the producer threads should inform or notify the consumer threads whenever it pushes the messages into the queue. In same manner, consumer threads should inform or notify the producer threads. Those are waiting for empty space to push the messages into the queue. So this is one classic clear example of wait and notify scenario. So from our explanation, we could easily see what needs to be done and where thread has to be waited on which condition, on similarly on which condition threads needs to be notified. Let's go ahead and implement same. We have done the notify we have done the wait part. So both the consumer and producer threads will wait on respective condition. The consumer will wait when the queue is empty, producer will wait when the queue is full. Let's go ahead and implement the notify. We need to implement the same. Let's see how to do it. We have done the notify part. Now, are we done yet? No. We have one more problem. Let's discuss what the problem is. If we have a closer look at the code, we have a if condition where we check the storage is full or not. Then we wait for the, if the storage is full, we go for a wait. And when we get notified by consumer, we will resume from the pushing message to queue. Let's consider a CPU and we have two producer threads PT1 PT2. At some point in time T1 queue is full, both PT1 and PT2 will be blocked or will be pushed to wait state. And some point in time T2 consumer thread removes one single messages from the queue. So this would make and notifies the producer threads to resume the execution. In a concurrent multi-core processor, let's assume at some point in time t3, PT1 will see the queue is not full, and for some condition, OS might push or will stop the execution of the PT1 and give the execution to PT3 for some variable reason. This is quite possible. So the PT2 producer thread 2 will start executing it, will try to push the message into the queue as part of execution time given by the scheduler by the underlying OS. Now, once the PT thread goes for a wait after pushing the message, PT1 will get the CPU for the execution, and since it has already checked the message is queue message store is not full, it will try to push the message into the queue and leading to error. Let's see how to handle this. We cannot handle this scenario by adding multiple if condition because the same issue would appear again. To resolve this, instead of if condition, we need to move on to while condition. So we have to give a while, and within the while we have to add the wait state. So whenever a notify call is made by a consumer, producer thread will resume from the execution. On resume, it would check the condition. If it finds the condition to be true, it would go to the wait state again. If the condition is false, it should proceed further to push the message into the queue. So let's see how to change the same in the code. Let's test the application by creating a simple main.